Okay, a brand new chapter of One Punch Man, and this chapter is chapter 145. And I know there was a bit of like a problem with the chapter numbering, which is why people, thought that, last chapter was chapter 145, but last chapter was actually chapter 144, part 2. This chapter is chapter 145, just to make that clear, because I know people were confused about that. But we've actually finally got a new chapter, and I'm actually pretty happy with the schedule Murata's been following lately, which is one chapter every 2 weeks. And considering the fact that Murata's, art is higher than your typical mangaka, then it's pretty understandable why he's going, one chapter every 2 weeks. But I feel like the reason Murata in the past went on really long hiatuses was because like a lot of his panels did contain very, very, very detailed art, which is why, he couldn't release chapters every 2 weeks. But now it seems like he's back to his regular schedule, so obviously I'm very happy about that. But before we get into this video on chapter 145 of One Punch Man, make sure you leave a like on the video and, subscribe if you're new to the channel. But this chapter actually starts off with Atomic Samurai going up against Evil Natural Water, and Evil Natural Water is basically just shooting high jet streams at Atomic Samurai at this point. And Ian actually asks a very interesting question, which is, what if Evil Natural Water was to absorb the ocean now? Now, this question hasn't really popped into my head before, but when Ian asks this, in my head I was kind of like, oh yeah, Evil Natural Water could actually absorb the ocean. And if Evil Natural Water was to absorb the ocean, then he would definitely be something that I don't think most of the S-Class heroes could handle. I feel like only Tatsumaki and, maybe like Blast and Saitama could be able to beat Evil Natural Water at that point, because if he was to absorb the ocean, he would be a lot bigger than he is right now. But after this, Evil Natural Water then shoots like multiple jet streams at Ian, and Ian's sword actually breaks in half. And we actually see Darkshine jump in to save Ian, which is pretty cool, because we all know that Darkshine in the past few chapters was kind of in the dumps. Well, after his fight against Garu, he was really, really sad, and overall his motivation was at an all-time low. And I feel like in the past few chapters, he's been, helping the S-Class heroes, slowly getting his confidence back. And I feel like at this point, Darkshine's confidence has completely recovered. Now, Darkshine was able to completely tank Evil Natural Water's jet stream, and he looks pretty unfazed by this, and he actually calls it like a shower, which is pretty funny, because we all know Evil Natural Water's jet streams are highly piercing and they can easily pierce through most people. It's just because Darkshine's body is very, very tough and very durable. And when Darkshine completely tanks all of these jet streams, he then continues to like one shot Evil Natural Water. Like, he just punches him once and Evil Natural Water just splats. And I feel like obviously this isn't the end of Evil Natural Water. He's definitely going to come back in the future, and I feel like he's going to come back even stronger. And since Ian pointed out the fact that if Evil Natural Water was to absorb the ocean, he would be unstoppable, I feel like that's exactly what Evil Natural Water will do in the next few chapters. Our attention then shifts away from Evil Natural Water, Atomic Samurai, and Ian to Black Sperm, and Black Sperm is actually trying to kind of cut off the path for Genos, Bang, Tank Top Master, and Tatsumaki to get away. And Black S literally just multiplies and literally kicks all of them with huge feet, and this just kind of showcases how broken Black S is. Now at this point, Black S is literally just multiplying himself and trying to jump Genos, Bang, Tatsumaki, and Tank Top Master. And at this point, we all know Tank Top Master is kind of like, he's pretty much mangled and he's been beat to a pulp at this point, and he needs to get away. And if they can't get away here, they might be in big, big trouble. Now, Bang then tries to cover for Genos and tries to like completely destroy Black S, but of course it's not going to be that easy. Now, Black S then goes up against Atomic Samurai. Well, Atomic Samurai then tells Bang, Bang, Genos, Tatsumaki, and Tank Top Master to get away. Now, Atomic Samurai actually slices Black S in a specific way. It kind of looks like he shredded him, which is actually pretty smart, because we all know Black S can multiply if you sever him completely, but Atomic Samurai did the opposite of that, and he kind of like beats him with the end of his blade, and he kind of shreds him to a point that it's not completely slicing him in half, which obviously does affect Black S and doesn't allow him to multiply. Now after this, we see Black S is still trying to pursue, you know, Genos and the Getaway Squad, and we see that Tatsumaki, with the last bits of her strength, basically tries to immobilize Black S and kind of stop him from, you know, getting closer to the Getaway Squad. Now as, you know, Tatsumaki is trying to immobilize, you know, Black S actually does something very interesting, and he multiplies himself out of Tatsumaki's barrier, which is actually very, very interesting and just shows how broken Black S is. Now obviously when Black S does this, Darkshine is there to back up Tatsumaki and, you know, just completely smash Black S and destroy his clones. And after this, we actually see, now this is actually near the end of the chapter, which is actually pretty interesting, and we see that Black S, once Darkshine says this, is actually very, very angry. Now after this, we see that Darkshine actually kind of provokes Black S and says he doesn't have enough shine, which looks like it really annoyed Black S for some sort of reason. But that's the end of the chapter, and this chapter was actually very, very interesting in terms of seeing, you know, Darkshine's confidence go up, and, you know, see Atomic Samurai adapt to the way Black S fights, and also just Black S and how broken he is as a, you know, as a monster. Now I'm sure we will see more of Black S, and, you know, we will see some sort of showdown with, you know, Darkshine and Black S, which would be very interesting because both of them are very big and bulky. Well, Black S can turn big and bulky when he wants to, but of course Darkshine is always big and bulky, and we may see this fight go down in the next few chapters, or maybe even in the next chapter, which I would preferably love or preferably want to happen. Now this chapter, I feel like in terms of how Tatsumaki is doing, I feel like Tatsumaki is definitely on her very last legs, and I'm not too sure if Tatsumaki could even take Black S at this point. I'm pretty sure Black S at this point could easily beat Tatsumaki, and I feel like there's no real hero that could completely beat the Cadres at this point. I feel like their last hope in terms of the S-Class heroes is Genos, Atomic Samurai, and Bang. And of course there is Saitama and Flashy Flash Underground, but those guys aren't, you know, in the main action right now, so I'm not too sure if I can really count them as people that we can, you know, completely rely on at this point. But I'm sure they will come up in the next few chapters or in the future chapters, and they will come to the surface to, you know, help the other S-Class heroes. Well, that depends on if the S-Class heroes are even alive by the time Saitama and Flashy Flash even get on the surface. And I feel like when Saitama does get to the surface, I'm not too sure if every cadre will be there either, because I'm sure the S-Class heroes may be able to take down a few cadres along with them. But I'm not saying the S-Class heroes will die, but, you know, I'm not too sure if they'll be able to beat Black S, you know, Homeless Emperor, and even Vomited Furrer Ugly, you know, the stronger version of Furrer Ugly. But apart from that, that's pretty much it for this video. This chapter was of course very interesting and was very high in action, and I'm sure we'll get another chapter very, very soon. But if you liked the video, then make sure you leave a like and subscribe with notifications turned on and set to all. And apart from that, I will see you in my next video.